Well, who's the best?
It's definitely not Hamilton. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. We put tired. Hi guys.
What is up?
What's
Oaks?
up? What's up? Welcome back to the F1 podcast. You're chilling here with
Mm-hmm.
Ntokozo and with Mr. K to the key
As
in.
usual.
Yeah, welcome back,
pumping.
man. It's been a while.
1 week.
I think you missed
2
two
weeks.
episodes.
Yeah, because Oaks had Sam and Luke and Maka, and then last week was Maka.
Yeah,
Mm.
we missed you. You ran away
'Cause,
with the
hey-
church keys, and we didn't have a place
Hey,
to
but that
record.
location is nice with Sam.
Yeah, I
and Luke.
know, hey.
Bengu is a good option.
Yeah,
It's nice,
yeah,
it is
yeah.
nice.
Look, welcome back, guys, again, and welcome to the F1 podcast
Mm.
with myself and Keenan today. Mark is not available. Sam is not available. He's always not available.
I mean, he works night shift. So,
yeah. So it's understandable that they're not available. So we're here to talk F1, everything F1.
Everything F1.
Just maybe a little bit some of announcements as usual. Coffee Snob still happening.
Always happening.
Always happening. Coffee Snob, check them out on Instagram. Are you guys on Facebook?
No one uses Facebook.
Come on, man.
No
I
one
still-
uses Facebook.
I still use Facebook.
Yeah,
bro.
you old.
I'm like was probably 4 years older than you.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, not bad. I'm 20.
Yeah, so I'm 6
But I'm
years
turning
older.
21, so 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years. So
Yeah.
yeah, 26. Just turning
But
26.
like 22 years old is the cutoff. Anyone below don't use Facebook. 23 and above, they Facebook users. I don't
Yeah,
use
I still use a lot.
I
of
use Facebook, bro. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, this race, bro.
Mm.
Hey, Silverstone. First of all,
What did you think?
bro, first lap, cars are upside down.
Dude.
First lap. And
Who's
you know,
the guy, the Chinese guy?
Joe Guan Yu.
yes.
And you know, I think the podcast, the last one I was on, I was saying how like I have hope for the guy. Like he has potential. He just has so much bad luck. He's always crashing with something, or the car's not performing great. Bro. And then this race, he actually did decent in qualifying.
Yes, true.
He got like top 10. I don't remember exactly what. Bro, first lap.
I think he got like P8 or something.
Yeah,
'Cause
it was
in,
decent.
It's like in the middle
Yes.
section, yeah.
Bro, but it was so decent, and I was like, oh wait, okay, it's actually gonna do something with this.
Yeah, and what do you have to say about the halo, man?
The
The halo.
halo.
The halo.
Yeah, I
yes,
didn't
that's
see.
how
I
you
didn't
say
see much of like, because I actually missed the first 14 laps, so I had to watch highlights. I watched, but
Welcome to the
so
team.
I did watch.
I actually signed up for F1 TV, bro. Yeah.
No, it's worth it, bro.
Yeah, it's
trust.
definitely
So I
is.
watched the end of the race, but obviously all the drama happened literally in the first like 14 laps. So I missed most of that, but I caught you on some of the highlights. And
Yeah,
got
I did
quite
something.
informed.
I actually did something very stupid. I have to tell you.
What's that?
So I watched the post race show,
Yeah.
and I mean I kept it on, and it kept like vroom vroom. I'm like, it's like 3 o'clock. It's supposed to be starting, and then I didn't realize that I have to exit that.
Oh yeah.
And actually go into the race
because it doesn't auto like
exactly.
TV. Oh my
So I was
word.
like 8 minutes behind.
So you're
the
just
whole
waiting
time.
there.
Yeah, I was just waiting there. How stupid!
Oh my word.
I
Hey.
know, how crazy.
So
'cause-
then, Shame. So then you probably didn't even see what happened with the
I mean,
crash.
obviously you catch up
Yeah,
with the 8
but,
minutes, but yeah.
Basically, what happened was you were along the straight, bro. You got Joe on the inside, Russell on the outside. Gasly comes in between, sandwiches both of them.
Yeah.
Nicks Russell. Russell swerves into Joe. Then
Whose
the
fault
whole-
was it though?
Gasly, I think.
Do you think it's Gasly? I
Yeah,
think it's Yuki
'cause-
Tsunoda.
What did Tsunoda do? I didn't even check him.
Because I
just
think he
checked 'cause
lost part of his wing in the front. But you could be
No,
right.
but
it
like
could be
in the,
Gasly.
In the highlights, bro, they showed the onboard cam of Gasly, and he had the two Alfa Romeo Mercedes on either side of him, and he just sandwiched his way into the middle.
Look, the
and then
stewards said that they're not going to investigate it. And
But
they
that's the
felt
thing, like when it's such a big crash, most of the time I think they're just worried about the driver's safety, bro. It's like obviously because the Oaks are out of the race already. What are you gonna do to them? Just
Yeah.
let them park.
Let
just
them-
make sure
yeah.
they're safe. Let the rest of the race continue.
I have to say, one of the unluckiest people out of all of that was George Russell. You know, him getting
Yeah.
out the car.
no, that was
and-
good, bro. Good sportsmanship from him.
yeah.
eh?
I mean, look, it was
Because like
good.
he could have recovered the race. I mean,
Yeah, true.
I think he had a bit of wing damage and a puncture. If he
Yes.
made it around the lap,
I mean,
pitted, he
Ocon
could
made
have-
it to the paddock or to the wherever it is, and he had the front damage.
Yeah, but that was later in the race, still.
Was it still?
Yeah, bro. It was like lap 30 something that he.
Was it?
No, it was. Almost,
No. It was the first. It was the first lap. He got damaged
Oh,
on the first
and then he
accident,
made it around
and then he made it around
before the red
into the
flag.
paddock. They then
Okay,
fixed
okay.
it. That's
Yeah,
why
that's
it
what I'm
was delayed
saying.
for like
Russell
an hour.
could have
Russell
also
could have done the
something like
same.
that. But
you
no,
know?
when you see something that bad, bro,
Sure.
I remember like she show the cars coming around the first corner, and then all of a sudden shows cars upside down, bro.
And it's just like,
And then boom, 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 boom.
and it's a couple of seconds, eh? Like it's just like that.
But that shows like how fast those cars go, because his car slid for so long, bro. And it looked like it was going kind of slow, and then
Yeah.
it hit the barrier, and then boom, and it just flips. Crazy.
It was a. I mean, I have to say, I think for a spectator, that's quite amazing to see. I
Yeah,
know it's a bad thing to say.
Yeah, but if there's
I
any
feel bad
race
to
you
say
should be
it.
at, it's the one where there's a good crash.
Yes,
kind of.
true.
Yeah.
And I mean, all the drama it caused, obviously, the delay of the race. And what did you think about the fact that the stewards then decided to restart the race with the original positions? I mean, Carlos Sainz was sitting there for like 30 minutes. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
But he was sitting in the car. Everyone else was still like sitting outside because
Yeah.
it was obviously the 15-minute
Yeah.
sort of gap that you get given before.
So was he not even in the pit lane, or?
Yeah, in the
Oh, okay.
in the pit lane. So basically, he was
On the
everybody
pit
else.
exit.
Even Lewis Hamilton was on his thing, riding around with his dog.
Oh, and Carlos stayed in the car.
Carlos stayed. Well, he
Maybe-
didn't stay in the car, but he got there, and I think for like that whole thing was delayed for like an hour or so.
Yeah.
And like sort of like, let's say 20 minutes in, I could be wrong. He then decided to get into the car, and all the other drivers were like, cool, we're gonna chill. And he was in there, and obviously the stewards then decided to restart the race with the original positions, which I personally feel like it was unfair for Max Verstappen, because obviously on the first, when the incident happened, off we go, Max Verstappen,
Yeah,
the
he took
original
position,
dog, bro.
yeah.
He hits
He
it.
flew, eh?
You know what I'm saying? So what would be your thoughts on that?
So it's rough because like they literally did one turn and then they had to kind of red flag the race. So it's essentially, it's like, it's very difficult to say, because obviously starting positions and like the start you get matters, because if you get a good start, then you jump a oak, you can gain 2-3 positions. But I mean, when you like in the second lap, in the second corner, and they're red flagging, you basically haven't even started the race yet.
Yeah.
So I think for just like organizational purposes, it's just so much easier to say, Oaks, we have like basically nothing changed. The race hasn't even started technically. Let's just run with the
Who did you think had a good race?
Perez, bro. The Oak came from last. And
Let's say other than Paris, because that's a very obvious one. He is
Fly.
phenomenal.
bro, you can't touch that Oak this season.
is amazing,
I want
eh?
him to do better than Max.
True. I'm also. You know,
Yeah.
this is why I hate it when it's just the two of us, because
Because we agree on everything. Maka will come with some Lewis Hamilton nonsense.
I
whatever,
know.
bro.
I know. We're gonna get
Or
there,
like
but
some like,
you know. But anyway. So who beside Paris do you think had maybe?
I actually
a
think
good race?
Sainz, bro, he won his first race. He got his first pole position.
Exactly.
So I thought, shame. No, I
Yeah.
felt bad for him because he was struggling, right?
Yeah.
Charles Leclerc was behind him, pumping the speed. And, bro, Charles Leclerc had wing damage and he was still setting fastest lap times.
That's who I
He
think had the
is
best.
so crazy fast. I actually, Ferrari, the mechanics, that's his biggest enemy. Because, bro, how do you? It's a yellow flag. All the cars are going into pit. Charles is on hard tires, and he's been on those tires for like 20 laps now. Everyone else is going soft when there's like 10 laps remaining, and they just leave
It was
him out
actually
on the
less. I
hard.
think it was like 4 or 5
Bro,
laps that
and
were
then-
left. Yeah.
And then they just leave him out. Like that's literally leaving him out to dry. And they put Perez and Hamilton behind him. Bro. But like, anyway, Sainz, no, he was flying.
I also think Sainz had a good race. Look, I
Yeah.
think also a person who had a good race was actually Charles, because I think he put his neck up. You know,
The thing
he
is, to
was-
be
he
fair,
was-
the only reason he flopped is because Ferrari didn't pit him. Because they
Yeah.
left him on those hards.
Yeah.
Because, think about it, he caught Sainz with a broken wing, took him and was putting seconds on him, right? Then the whole incident happened. Ocon stopped in the middle of the straight. Car broke down. Then they brought everyone in to go on softs, bro. Sainz, they brought him in. Perez, Hamilton, all the Oaks, and Charles was
You know
left
what I
out.
don't like though with the Silverstone race is looking at or watching how Charles, and look, I think he is faster than Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely very, very fast,
100%.
much faster than him. But just not letting them race, you know. I think they allowed it a little bit, and but also them stepping in and saying, "No, you take over." And
Yeah,
whatever,
so the thing is,
whatever.
I think they actually handled it pretty well.
Do you
because
think?
if you
No,
look
I
at it,
disagree. I kind of disagree.
so check here, right? This is the scenario. Sainz is leading, 100%. Charles, after he's realizes the wing is porridge, then he's slowly creeping up, and then so now he's behind Sainz, and then he reckons to the Oaks at the pit wall, okay, I can go faster. If you want me to go through, then let me go through type thing.
Yeah.
Then what they do is they tell Sainz, okay, listen, we've got a driver behind you. If you want to win this race, drive faster type thing. So they did give him the opportunity to kind of like actually, okay, we're going to let you prove yourself. If you can't, then
you're going to have to.
Then you're risking.
Do you think
Charles'
that
race.
also, I mean, look, I think it was the first initial sort of when they said that, I think it was fair, right?
Yeah.
But the reason why I said they should have just let them race, and I mean, I guess I do understand that they have to consider like not seeing what happened between the AlphaTauris, where they knock each other out, and then they lose a race. I understand where they're coming from, but also looking at the fact that with Charles, it ended up not working in his advantage because obviously leaving him out cost him the race.
No, but that's Ferrari's fault because if they brought both of them in, he could have still won the race.
But double stacking, it's going to delay somebody.
No, but it wasn't even double stacking because he went around twice. So he had 2 chances to go and they left him on for both chances because they brought Sainz in first, Lekker. Then, okay, we were like, okay, Schultz will come in the next round.
Did they?
Yeah, they brought Sainz in immediately.
So he went around twice.
Yeah,
So they could have. They
That's
look,
what I'm saying. So
I hear.
Ferrari
what you- I hear
literally
you.
flopped so
Yeah.
hard. I don't know what
And
they
it looks
thought
like
would happen.
they keep flopping against.
Because like it's fair enough. Like okay, you have 2 drivers. One's competing, one's not driving as well. But like I like it because they gave Sainz like 4 or 5 laps. They said,
they gave him a fair chance.
yeah, they said,
Look,
listen,
I
we
think they
want a
did.
32.9. If you can't do that, then you're just not fast enough. Then
Yeah,
we
so
have
you
a faster
to-
driver.
and
so you
also
step
that
down.
sort of delayed them because they had
Yeah.
Lewis Hamilton.
That's the
behind
thing.
their
You
back.
can't risk 2 drivers get because Lewis Hamilton was creeping up.
Yeah.
So
And
Charles
he was
yeah.
fast.
So Charles was driving slower just because he didn't want to interfere with Carlos Sainz's race and everything. So I think the respect there and the way the team handled it was good. At the end of the day, Sainz couldn't keep that 32.9 pace,
But
so
he
they
won.
did let Charles go through. The only reason he did win, although, is because they didn't bring Charles in later on for
Yes,
softs.
yeah.
So it's like, I don't know what Ferrari just kind of flopped with Charles,
Yeah.
but obviously Sainz still got the dub. That's
But how
great for
amazing
him
is
to
Lewis
do.
Hamilton?
Nah, he's porridge.
Come on, guys. Why do people hate Lewis
What
Hamilton?
did he do that was amazing?
No, he was amazing. He drove very well. Let's give it to the Oak. If you look at the
What did he
fastest
qualify?
laps of the day,
What did
who
he
handed them
qualify?
out?
What did he qualify?
I think he qualified P4,
And what did he finish?
P3.
So then, how's that amazing? He gave
No,
one
but you have to look at the end of the race, right?
No, you
have
don't,
to-
because he still gave up 2 positions. Because he actually, I was looking back at the footage, and not once was Lewis Hamilton outside track limits. He didn't get pushed out once.
He did.
No, he didn't.
No, guys.
What happened was,
Guys, he
if you
did.
are behind
He
a car,
did.
he always he does this at Silverstone. He did it last time, and that's what got Max crashed, right? If you are on the inside,
Yeah.
going into a corner, and you are in front,
You have to defend.
you take the race in line because it's your corner.
Yeah.
Because you have the position, right?
Yes.
Hamilton. So what happened was Perez has the racing line. He's in front. He's on the inside. Takes the corner. Hamilton tries to go on the outside of him, but he's not fast enough to catch the outside. So he forces himself onto the outside, and then he realizes, actually, if I keep this up, I'm going to T-bone Perez. So let me slow down and then try to get
And then-
behind him.
all right,
for
cool.
better
I
exits.
get that part, but you have to give it to him. He had a good race.
Nah, he had an average race.
No, I think he had a good race.
I don't.
Dude, I think. look, okay.
Perez had a
Here's
good
my
race.
argument. Here's my. Perez had the best.
These
race.
are the Oaks that had good races.
Listen. I think Perez had the best race.
He did,
All
by
right.
far.
But I think Lewis Hamilton had a good race.
The only reason Hamilton came on a podium is because Max flopped with his damage on the car.
But then look, that's again the argument that we always have on our group chat that Lewis Hamilton just had the best cars. It's the same thing with Max. I mean,
No, but that's
let's
the
be
thing,
honest,
yeah.
right?
So now they have a better
Now
car.
they have a better car,
Yes.
right? But he is a good driver.
But the fact that Max
Verstappen
still won a
is a good
championship
driver.
with an inferior car last year
Yes.
proves that Hamilton is not the greatest.
No, he is. He's a 7. Like I said, 1, 2,
So
3,
like I was
4,
saying
5,
before we
6,
started,
7.
That's like I was saying before we started. If you look at soccer, that's like saying Kylian Mbappe is better than Messi just because he has a World Cup title.
Different sports.
No, it doesn't matter. It's still
Different
the team that
sports.
got him that World Cup title. right?
Yeah, but
Whereas Messi's team could not ever in
the 7
Argentina
titles
history
that Lewis Hamilton
get-
has, is
it's
it only
from
with Mercedes?
Yes.
All of them.
He had one at McLaren.
Yeah, one McLaren.
This is what I've said before, though. When he started, I think he was a very good driver. I think he was the best at his time.
Yes.
When he was at McLaren and his first year in Mercedes. Then hybrid era entered. Mercedes were flying. They had the best
So
engineers.
that gave him an upper hand a little bit, is what you
That
say.
basically gave him
The most
what's word?
advantage
No,
out of
it, like,
everybody.
It let him calm down a bit because he didn't have to compete as much because he was so far in the front. That's what I'm saying. For those 5-6 years,
I wouldn't
he didn't
discredit
have to
that,
race
actually.
against anyone. All he saw was emptiness in front of him. He was
know,
never
this-
behind someone.
This is what I was saying to Marco the other day when we recorded the other episode. I think just because he's the one black guy in the grid, also, I think that's so. It's like you sympathize with the Oak, you know. It's like, oh, shame, man. You're the only one, right?
Bro,
But at the end of the
he's
day,
an F1 driver. There's no shame in this. He's living a luxurious life. Please, bro.
but look, I think Lewis Hamilton is good.
No,
right?
obviously. Okay,
He
let's put it
is
this way.
good.
Everyone in F1, those 20 drivers are the 20 best drivers essentially in the world, right?
Except
No, I'm saying like to get
except
into.
who out of the 20?
Yeah, let's see if he. Okay. Okay. But no, he actually got into Q3.
yeah,
so
he did.
I was like,
He
bro,
did.
I remember. So I watched the race at Sam's house, and because I went there late.
Yeah.
Bro, I go next door, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm parking. And then I'm looking at the leaderboard, and I'm like, what is Latifi doing in P8? P8. I was like, what are you doing here? You haven't crashed by now. That's surprising.
Yeah, I did.
Anyway,
So
but
he's
like,
anyway,
like I
what
was
you were
saying,
saying.
the Oaks in F1, all of them are fantastic drivers. They had to be good to get the seat in F1, right? So you can't really say that, oh no, like obviously I don't spark for Hamilton. He is a good driver, but so you can't say, no, he's not a good driver, this, or Verstappen's not a good driver, or Charles is not a good driver. The Oaks are good. But like
They perform at the highest peak
in this
of
hybrid
driving.
era, in this such a technological age of F1,
Yeah.
a lot of it depends on your team and the car you get put in.
And your talent. I think you also have to have the talent. I think Lewis Hamilton, obviously is getting a bit old. But Alonso is also.
That's what I was gonna say. Perez is old. Perez has like 2 kids.
Yeah, I know.
And he's
but he's
pumping, bro.
pumping.
That's
But also, you gotta give it to Perez. Perez, I think, also it has to
He's
do with
just
the
a
car
legend.
game.
But I feel like he's him and Sainz are like, because they've been in F1 for so long, and they haven't really been like winning titles.
Wait,
or, like,
so
getting
how long has
podiums.
Carlos Sainz been in F1? He has never won.
He's been
anything.
racing for like 20 years. Not in F1.
not
for
in
20
F1,
years,
yes,
but
yes.
he was like, he's been racing for like 20 years.
Sure, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But Silverstone, guys, was an exciting
It
race.
was
I think it
exciting,
was
eh?
even looking at the safety car.
It was good for Leclerc though, because he still got a few points up on
Yes.
Verstappen.
On
So
Verstappen.
Verstappen hasn't. He missed out quite a lot on points. Perez
But
is up there though.
kudos to him. I think kudos to him for actually putting
He
again.
did the most what he could with the car, with a
Exactly,
broken
dude.
car, with a hard
And he was
hard
fighting
tires.
against Mick Schumacher.
Yeah, Verstappen and
Yeah, the Schumachers were
Schumacher
happy.
were happy, yeah, they were having it.
But at least he got the first points. It looks like we got the first
No, but
person who won the race, which was Carlos Sainz.
yeah,
And
Perez
first time
second.
with Mick Schumacher getting the points.
Yeah, that was good.
Anyway, so Silverstone was good, and I think
Next week's gonna be even better.
yeah.
Austria, that's Max's home. Orange Ocean.
I've
is
already
coming
seen some
in,
footage
bro.
of
It's
the
gonna
rig.
be. It's gonna be torture for the whole grid. Red
You
Bull will
think?
dominate. I'm telling you, that's Max's territory. That's like Hamilton. Give it to him. He's good at Silverstone. Always.
Yes,
that's
true.
his home track, bro.
Yeah.
So same thing with Verstappen at Austria.
Okay. So who do you think is going to take it?
Verstappen.
Verstappen is going to take
I
it?
think Leclerc will come close second. I think it will be a battle, but I think just because of the home territory and the confidence feeling, Verstappen will have the confidence
Yeah.
boost upper hand type thing. And then,
Okay.
And then, hey, third place, rough, bro. I'm
Perez.
just gonna say Perez because he's
Perez.
on fire.
I also think
recently.
Perez.
He's
yeah.
on fire.
Yeah.
But I
It's
think
either Perez
it's gonna be
or
tight between
I
the
think
top.
Perez and or George Russell are going to get it.
Russell will get P4.
You
I don't
think?
think he'll get a podium.
Not
Not,
this
at
time.
Austria. I don't know.
Hey, but
I
the
think
Red Bulls,
it's gonna be
the
tight.
Red
bro.
Bulls are going to be there. They're going to be kicking it.
The thing, what I like about the Red Bulls this season, even though they've flopped, the only times, in the beginning their car was breaking down like once or twice, But after that, whenever they do bad, it's because of like picking up debris on the track or stuff like that. So after the first 3 races, they really fixed up their car. They really fixed up their attitude. And
I mean, look, I think you're picking up debris, especially if you're at the front line. You're gonna
what can you do?
What can you do?
You can only dodge so fast. You're going at like 200 kilometers an hour.
So there's not much you can do, but Red Bull is quite good. I think they're going to take Austria. Definitely, I think Max is going to get P1. But that's what we were saying with Maka the day. It's like with F1 sometimes it's like so boring because you know who's going to be like
that's the
at
thing,
the front pack and
that's
but
you
anyway.
know why that's why I think people are so much more interested now because for the past 7 years it's
just
only
been
Hamilton
Mercedes.
winning. That's what I'm saying. Now it's like
but Lewis is still good, guys.
Now,
Lewis is still good.
Now it's like who's Charles Leclerc? Who's Perez? Where did he come from? Oh look, Russell's here now. So it's like so many new names, new teams.
It is sort of also with the new regulations, it has compacted
the racing
the
is
grid,
so much. I mean, Haas in 4 races ago was taking over Mercedes. This race, it almost took a Red Bull. Bro,
so there is something right that they're doing. I'm sure you can check us out that we are very, very tired because Keenan has been actually getting ready for a youth camp at church.
So leaving tomorrow morning.
You're leaving tomorrow morning?
Really early up at, I think leaving at like 6, dude.
Wow. Man, I hope you really enjoy your time there. And I was just saying, I hope all these kids love Jesus.
They better love Jesus, bro. All this work for nothing. I'll leave them there if they don't enjoy it.
Look, there's much more that we could actually talk about, but I think we should bring it to a close. And that's our predictions. That's what we think is going to happen. There's a lot of stuff that are happening in the F1 fraternal, and I think on the next episode we are going to touch on them. Make sure that you check us out on YouTube, and also I think I'm going to try and upload some of our episodes on Facebook and see if we get any traction in terms of that. I know there's not a lot of people who watch F1.
Instagram, by the way.
Yeah, we do. So we're gonna upload it on that. Make sure that you can check out Coffee Snob, Book Row Shoots, which is Row Shoots 2020. Check them out on Instagram. Also, you can check out Keenan at what's your handle again?
I don't know.
Something Keenan _ Nike, I think it is.
0 at the
end with 0 ones and whatever. You can check him out. I'll actually tag you on one of the. And then you can check me out at Ntokozo _ I think it is. And so if you have any comments and
let us know your predictions in the comments. That's
they must. We were saying with Maka, we must also go and maybe record one day at the go-kart circuit day in Korea.
Interview some oaks, see
what's happening.
The future South African F1 drivers.
I don't think so, dude.
Not at the go-kart circuit.
Keenan, thank you so much, man, for coming through.
Boss.
Always good chatting, man.
100%.
All right, cool. Boom, we are out.